Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, part of the Furniture with me, Daniel. It's season 14, episode 4, and today it's another big game in the early quest to qualify for Europe, as we face Liverpool at Anfield, managed by Pep Guardiola. It's 7th v 8th, and the 7th spot could be enough this year, as we try to nick a Europa League spot for the very first time. Liverpool, you can see, are behind their Merseyside rivals Everton, so that's something they'll be trying to address, but for us, we continue to worry about our defensive woes and trying to resolve them after 2 defeats on the bounce. We're still one of the best scorers in the division, but unfortunately we're in the bottom half for goals conceded. But before we get into any of that, let's go and have a look at the schedule to see how we've been getting on since the last episode. It's not been too bad in truth. Until this month all was going quite well, but now 2 defeats on the bounce has lowered the morale and we're in a bit of trouble going into this one, where we're of course going to be heavy underdogs again. Stevie Maxwell, the backup keeper's got a long-term injury, but aside from that everyone's available, so we certainly can't be blaming injuries or suspensions, as we've had pretty much our first 11 every week. But you were with me last time for that awful defeat at home to Arsenal. We really got outplayed on the day, completely collapsed in the first half, and after that it was always going to be an uphill battle. We did then sneak through in the Carabao Cup in midweek, away to Championship Blackburn. They were obviously our favourite side in the Premier League. Most of our best performances came against them, and remarkably in the penalty shootout, which we got to courtesy of a 90th minute equaliser from Omar, the second time in a row he saved us coming off the bench in our Carabao Cup run this season. They didn't score a penalty, Blackburn, and we got 3 of our 4, just Richard Quirk missing, with Leclerc again scoring the crucial 4th to get us through to the 4th round. We then won 1-0 away against Southampton, a late goal off the bench from Juan Manuel Ramos. He started to make a bit of a habit of that, and we might have to think about him coming into the team soon, as Dimitri Lapin's had a really poor year and he's tired today after international duty. We followed that up into October, the month where we said we wanted 7 points out of 9, and we managed exactly that. 2 emphatic home wins, first against Fulham, a 4-1 victory, Kozil, Omar, Julian and Ramos again, all getting a goal in that one, then a 0-0 draw away to Sheffield United, which was a really disappointing performance, and we were lucky in the end that we managed to get a point. Sheffield United piled on the pressure at the end. But then at home to West Brom we completely recovered with a brilliant 5-1 win. Omar got a brace including a penalty, Kozil scored one from the spot as well, and Julian and Ramos off the bench again as Ramos continued his brilliant scoring form. A 5-1 victory and our joint biggest victory in the Premier League, a really good performance and a good result to go with it. And then a brilliant 3-0 win at home in the Carabao Cup, our backup team beating Watford easily. They're our rivals in the league but they were struggling in the Cup. Ramos got another goal in that one, and then McGregor and a last minute goal from Duncan as we comfortably went through 3-0 in the end. But then against Watford the following weekend in the league, we did lose 1-0 due to a late goal. The first team certainly not performing as well, and we were probably lucky it wasn't more than one. Then at home to United it was almost a carbon copy of the Arsenal game, a complete collapse in the first 20 minutes. We were 2-0 down and had already gifted the game. We've done the same against all of the top sides this year, aside from Manchester City where we drew at home. We gave Tottenham a 2-goal lead, Arsenal a 3-goal lead, and in the same against United a 2-goal lead here. Hernan got one back just after half time before Badger threw one in at the end, but he still got a 6.8 rating, which shows you how much he saved us the rest of the game. So we go away to Anfield today in a little bit of poor form, but it is the last tricky game before a few slightly easier ones, although Bournemouth on paper is supposed to be an easier game, but they've been absolutely brilliant this season and currently occupy a European spot. So Sunderland and Villa at home have got to be 2 wins if we're going to compete for Europe later on in the season. You can see we've got Tottenham in the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup. We're going to try and sneak through that one, and then we'll obviously have some action from the semi if we're there, as it could be our best route into Europe this season. But with that round-up out the way, and the fact that we haven't got many injury worries, let's go and get into our game today. But before that, one very quick bit of news. Stevie Maxwell's obviously out long-term. At the moment, Andy Walsh is our third-choice keeper, and currently deputising as our backup. He's not good enough for that, and we've managed to find a wonder kid through our scout reports. David Montano from Colombia, 700 grand he's going to be joining us for. The scout summary suggests he's got an 84 rating and the potential to be an absolutely brilliant goalkeeper. He's already 2.5 star ability, not far off the level of Maxwell. He's been complaining about his first team football before his injury, so I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up leaving, and Montano can then become our backup keeper. A really good youngster, playing for Colombia already at the age of 20, and I think he could be an absolute superstar, so we're happy to take a punt with 700 grand on him. And then another youngster we've pre-agreed a transfer for is Alan Wood. He's a left back from Hearts for 275,000. He's 18 years of age, which means he will qualify as a homegrown player at the club should he make it that far in the future. He's going to come in as a young left back. He's got a scout summary of 91 and he is rated as a 4.5 star talent, and that's just with gold stars, not even the greyed out ones. Only 1.5 star ability at the moment, but I think he's going to be worth giving a chance to, as he could be something very special. He's got a driven personality which should lead him to the top two, and remarkably he's got a player trait of attempting overhead kicks. I'm not quite sure how that fits into his profile, but we'll take that if it means he's going to score a spectacular goal or two. So two good young signings to look forward to. Left back's a position we've tried to buy ready-made players. We've never been able to find one at the top level, so maybe this is the route we have to take to try and get a world-class player in the position. If we can do that for £250,000 as well, we'll certainly be very happy with our work in the window. We've still got 50 million of transfer budget remaining, so we never know what could be round the corner. If we can find someone high quality like Badger again, we could yet have a big January deal to come. But let's go and get this game against Liverpool over with. It's going to be a pretty poor day at the office. We're going to be the heavy underdogs, as you would have expected. Liverpool 1-3 on to win at home. Pep Guardiola doing a brilliant job there. They're down in 7th place, but it's very tight at that level, and they've got a game in hand as well, which could take them back into the top 4 at the expense of City if they win by 3. They've got one hamstring injury, which means there's one player doubtful for them. Don't forget, a year and a half ago, we went to them on the first day of the season and lost 5-1. That's because they signed Sandoval from Arsenal for 146 million, and as a result we just can't compete. Our whole side probably didn't cost that much. But let's go and look at our 11 for the game. It's pretty much as you would expect at this stage. We've got a couple of players who aren't fully fit today. Daniel Kozol's come back from international duty knackered, and Dimitri Lapin's not far off as well. So as a result, those two have been replaced, but aside from that, it's our first 11. So we've got Badger in goal, Quirk and Lonergan Irwin are the fullbacks, with Recchio and Bedger in the middle. Bacanez in the holding role, still very unhappy at the moment, and still wanted by the same 3 clubs. Man City now joining the race as well, so we could get very big money for him, but at the moment it doesn't look like he'll be staying. Ramos and Omar are central midfield, with Aaron McGregor on the wings, Julian up front on his own. He's starting to hit a bit of poor form. Rutherford's yet to add a goal all season. He's been absolutely terrible in front of goal, and even in the Carabao Cup ties, Michael Duncan's often come off the bench to save him. But let's go and get into the game today. Just Goretzka and Duncan miss out on the squad. Everyone else is involved, so hopefully they'll get a chance if need be. It's still a pretty strong bench given the situation, but we obviously haven't got some positions covered, and we are a little bit weak in certain areas, with McGregor for example starting on the left. Ramos getting a chance in central midfield, that's the one bit I'm really excited about. He scored plenty of goals off the bench this season and added one in the cup too, so can he compete at the higher level? I'm sure we'll find out in the next 90 minutes. Liverpool have still got a couple of players you'll recognise. Pavard's playing in the holding role, Trent Alexander-Arnold's the captain at right back, and João Felix on the left wing, who's just gone to Atletico Madrid in real life for well over 100 million. Liverpool have got their own 100 million man, Sandoval, who we mentioned recently. He went for 146 million last summer, and he's certainly a world-class talent, a brilliant England international, and we're not going to be able to compete with players like that. Hopefully if Omar develops to his potential, he might one day be as good, but he's got a long way to go down the road yet, and I'm sure it'll be a difficult game today. We're going to tell the lads to go out and prove a point. Stuart Jelling recommending that. We certainly need to be better than we were last time, and everyone bar Bedger is motivated for the game. We're going to go for our tactics quickly, drop to a balanced mentality. We stayed on positive against Arsenal and United at the start, and it came back to bite us really badly, so we're just going to make sure we have a solid base, and if we can create attacks later on, then brilliant. But let's go and get into the first half of this game. Hopefully we do quite well. We've only really got 2 attacking positions covered on the bench, so if we have some poor performers up there, I'm not quite sure what we're going to do. We know that Lapin didn't look sharp in training. We needed to give him a rest after the international break, and that's why Ramos is in the lineup today, as the tunnel interview inquired. It's Sandoval in the middle for Liverpool from the kickoff. Out to João Felix on the left. Richard Quirk starts the game by fouling him, and now Liverpool have got a free kick. It could be a disastrous start, but the highlight end ends, and with 3 minutes gone it remains 0-0. We've got a throw on the right with Richard Quirk. Long ball into the box, Pereira possible on the Liverpool keeper, up to gather it comfortably. I've no idea why we needed to see that, unless Liverpool are going to score from the counter. It's Montero at left back to Sandoval. He gets it wide to João Felix. Plenty of space on the left hand side. Quirk's already fouled him once in this game, so we need to be a little bit careful. The cross deflects off him, but it falls nicely for Badger, and he manages to gather it in a Torquay goal. He's going to kick it long downfield, but it's absolutely aimless, although Julian's going to get on the end of it. A poor ball by the defender, let it bounce, didn't really get it clear. Julian half volleyed, it fell and sat up nicely for him, but it just went over the bar, and it remains goalless, although we've got another throw in. Air gets it from Richard Quirk, back to McGregor on the edge of the box. He beats a man on the left hand side, goes back to Lonergan in the fullback, but his cross is blocked, and now Felix has got a chance to break. Surging down the right hand side, Lonergan flies into a tackle and misses it, and the cross goes as far as Joel in the box, but thankfully he heads the ball wide. 15 minutes gone, we've got a warning to close Felix down, but I'm not sure how long we're going to be able to hold him off for. 25 minutes gone, it's Richard Quirk at right back, throws it into Ramos, who we've not seen much of today, goes long downfield but it's headed away by Liverpool. Falls for Omar on halfway. He gets it to McGregor on the left hand side, switches it for Hernan Air on the right wing. Into Omar, his header's blocked, and it's fallen for Ramos halfway in the Liverpool half. He finds Lonergan and now McGregor. Lonergan delivers, Hernan Air at the back post, but a brilliant save. Possibon tips it away, and Air's got it again out wide. He finds Quirk and now Baccanes, another man who's been quiet so far, plays a 1-2 with Air. Omar puts Quirk in with a brilliant through ball, but the cross is blocked and it's behind for a corner. We're certainly giving as good as we can get in this game. Omar with an in-swinging corner, headed away by Liverpool, and now Sandoval's coming on the break. João Felix gets it up front. He goes wide to Montero on the left. Two men in the box for Liverpool. Joel's one of them, heads it just wide at a post, but it was another free header in the middle of the box, something we've got to be concerned about. Half an hour gone and Ramos delivers, and it's still got the ball on the right hand side. He switches it to McGregor, delivers into Badger, got time to shoot, it's a good save Possibon, tip wide at a post and it's a Torquay corner. Omar's going to take it, it's an in-swinging delivery, a little overhead but Badger gets ahead to it, but it's offside from the rebound and Liverpool survive the attack. They still haven't had a shot on target with 10 minutes to go to the break, but they've got to throw in at left back here. Montero finds the centre half, now Mendes as they play it along the back. Into Sandoval in midfield, out to the right hand side and the winger will charge us. He goes inside to Toponi, he's got a man on the left in João Felix and he goes wide to the overlapping fullback. Montero tries to deliver but it's blocked to the edge. Sandoval's got time to shoot here, we don't want to give him that much time, he's worth 150 million and we've left him space on the edge of the box. He rifles the ball into the top corner and it's 1-0 to Liverpool with their first shot on target of the match. 5 minutes to the break, we've finally got a warning to close him down, but it's a little bit too late for that one after he's given Liverpool the lead. Montero into the box. We've got to make sure we don't collapse now. We've done it against every other big side this season and now they're on the attack again. Baccanes wins it back and can clear the ball and Liverpool are all attacking now. It's Felix on the left hand side to Sandoval. He finds Toponi. Sandoval again as Liverpool continue to charge after the goal. Into Toponi, Joel in the box, Felix with a shot on the rebound. A brilliant save by Badger who's kept us in the game before the break. Felix with an in-swinging delivery, it's gone past everyone for a goal kick and we survive at 1-0 but Liverpool dominating after the goal. 1-0 at the break is a decent performance but it's all gone wrong since the goal. Half time then, Liverpool lead through that brilliant goal from Sandoval, gave him so much time on the edge of the box and you can't do that with the best players in the world. We're going to tell the lads to go out and prove a point just as Stuart Jelling recommends. Again most of them are motivated so hopefully they'll respond in the second half. Omar gets the ball out to the right to Hernan Air but it's overhit out for a throw in and that's not the best start to the half. Liverpool still lead 1-0. Just over 15 minutes to go, there's nothing happening in this half, so we're going to make some substitutions just to try and throw caution to the wind at the end. Rutherford's going to come on for Julian, who's had a poor game. McGregor's going to be replaced by Gonzalez, with Hernan Air switching over to the left. And then our experiment of starting Ramos didn't work. It seems like he's just an impact sub. James Hayes will come on for him, and with 15 to go we'll see if they can make a difference. When we get to the final 10 we will go more attacking, but we want to make sure we don't lose by 2 or 3 and really get cut adrift in terms of goal difference. 10 minutes to go, Liverpool still lead by 1, but it's been a really poor second half performance. Long ball downfield to Gonzalez. He flicks it on for Rutherford. He's got two men on the left, but one of them's come inside, and then Rutherford had no option, so he ends up losing the ball, and against his former club he may cost us the game. Joel charges down the right into Taponi. Brilliant save by Badger, and we'll go to a positive mentality. 30 seconds plus stoppage time to go then. We're going to go very attacking for the last couple of minutes. We've got 3 minutes added on. Can we do something special, or are we resigned to a narrow defeat? It's been a better performance than against the other top sides, but look at Fletcher off the bench. He just ran through the whole team again. Taponi on the rebound finds Badger. He's done brilliantly in goal. He's made 2 brilliant double saves there, but the amount of pace Fletcher has is just surging through the team, and it's oh so easy. Why he's not starting the games for them, I don't know. Him and Felix would be absolutely deadly, but thankfully they only started one of them today. Pottemon's got it in goal for Liverpool. No time left on the clock, and the final whistle does go. It's a 1-0 defeat. Sandoval with a brilliant goal. I guess that's what you get for 150 million, and Liverpool just about deserved winners after a bright start from Torquay early on. We tell the lads they put in a good effort. Stuart Jelling's probably right with that one. We weren't expected to win the game, but we did put up a better fight than expected. We'll go and have a look at what the media have said about the game and look at our slide down the Premier League table. Apparently Liverpool dominated the game according to the media, probably based on the second half. They seem to have a lot of the possession even though we didn't see any highlights, and as a result of that, that's probably the reason they've said that, even though it didn't look the most dominant display on camera. We've got a post-match press conference which we're not going to deal with as we keep losing games and we don't want to keep getting the same questions. Rutherford's got a confidence crisis, 12 games without a goal now. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do about him. This happened a couple of years ago. He didn't score till December and then got about 15, but after a brilliant performance last season where he was the top scorer in the league, he can't buy a goal now despite playing in weaker cup games and against the lower opposition in the league. I know today was a rare exception, but he didn't look good when he came on either. Johansson's watching at Anfield, the Spanish manager looking at Julian Recchio and Ramos as well as the Liverpool player Iglesias, so he is looking at a few of our talents, and that probably does bode well for the future, some of our young stars being looked at by the top nations. As that's now 3 league defeats in a row, I would imagine that the squad dynamics are starting to drop. The dressing room atmosphere is down to good now. Bakanez obviously still unhappy. I think we're going to have to let him go in January if we can get 60 or 70 million for him and then find a replacement that's nearly as good. But it is a shame with these young players developing that we're not able to keep them at the club long enough. If we'd have been in Europe this year, it probably wouldn't have been a problem, but unfortunately that's not the case, so it looks like we are going to be losing him soon. As we mentioned though, we've still got 50 million to spend in January, so if we can find a top class player then brilliant, but I'd like it to have been a new additional one rather than having to replace one who's going. But if we go and have a look at the schedule, we've got some really big games coming up which we need to recover for. We've got to get back to winning ways at home to Sunderland. That's on Friday night on TV next week. We've got a tricky away one against Bournemouth. They're up in the top end of the league now. I think they're still in the top 4. They're 4th after beating Everton at home. Everton sliding down towards us. They're the side we've probably got to chase this year. They've got a couple of really world-class players, but again they've lost a few of theirs to the top 4 teams, so they're a little bit weaker than they were last year. We've then got the likes of Villa, Wolves and Brighton at home in succession. It's probably got to be 3 wins if we're going to be chasing the top 7, as when we go away to Chelsea and then in January face the like of Spurs, City and Everton, we're probably not going to get many points out of them. We've got the FA Cup run to start in that month as well, and hopefully we'll have a Carabao Cup semi-final, but we've got to get past Tottenham at home in the quarters. Hopefully it won't be their biggest priority and they'll put out a few reserve players against us. But we are planning to come back for the last game of December, where we go away to Chelsea, who again are right up there at the top. They're top of the league at the moment, and we want to test ourselves against the very best teams. We did okay against Liverpool today, and hopefully we'll be able to get on a good run and go into that one in very good form. The Tottenham game in between will be crucial, but I'd like to show you some action from the semi-final, should we make it past Spurs and get to the last 4. But if you did enjoy this episode, please put a thumbs up on the video. I really thought it was a decent performance against Liverpool. Although we didn't get any points at the end, we put up a spirited display, something that couldn't be said against United or Arsenal. Let me know your opinion on Bacanez as well. Do you think we just have to try and hold on to him? He's still got a fair amount of time left on his contract, I think. Let me just go and have a look to see how many years he's got left. I think he's still got 3.5 years. He has, so he is someone we can keep around. And maybe if we get into the Europe in the next year or so, he'll be a bit happier then. But can we afford to carry him for that time? Or do we just have to accept he's going to go and try and move on and get a replacement? Let me know your thoughts. If not, who do you think I should spend my £50 million on? I don't really want to know a name. I just want to know what position you think we're weakest. I'm looking at either left back or one of the winger spots. We've also still got a deficit of centre half. It seems to cost us in the biggest of games, but generally we're still doing okay with those two, so I don't know if I need to give that partnership more time. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my 2 long-term stories. This one with Torquay United, and then our Journeyman series, The Head Coach. The brand new season of that one started a few days ago, so do go and check that one out if you're not up to date with the series. There's also 3 episodes a week from my Cricket 19 career. That's every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at midday. A massive thanks to all of you that have gone along and watched that one so far. We also did an Ashes Test playthrough from that game over the last 3 or 4 weeks. I really appreciate the support with those series, as I've really enjoyed playing that game so far. My weekly Snooker 19 career also continues every Friday at 4:30. But a massive thanks for watching this one and your continued support with the series as always. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time for another big game as we face the leaders before the January transfer window opens.